Hello everyone, welcome to our insights. Today we have invited Mr. Kanishk Bhatia, the head of CAF II Investment Advisor Team. In our show, he will give us some perspectives about what potential areas for investment in ASEAN countries and how to accelerate the construction of the Western Financial Center. Mr. Bhatia, thank you so much for joining us. Could you please briefly introduce the China-ASEAN Investment Cooperation Fund II?
Sure. So the fund has a $1 billion size. It is the largest ASEAN-focused infrastructure fund in the market. The fund will invest in ASEAN countries across various infrastructure subsectors, including transport, energy utilities, and telecommunications infrastructure.
What do you think? There are potential investment opportunities in ASEAN countries.
We see huge potential and opportunities for ASEAN infrastructure market. Given there are large infrastructure deficits in the region, and there are favorable macroeconomic drivers. So, to give you an example, ADB, the Asian Development Bank, estimates that emerging Asia needs about $1.7 trillion of infrastructure investment every year to keep up with the current growth rates. And there's a large funding gap of about $460 billion per year in the region. So there's a huge opportunity set we see. And if you look at the ASEAN region, there's strong macroeconomic drivers in terms of rising incomes, rapid urbanization, and favorable demographics. So we see a strong supply of opportunities in the region. And the governments, and I've spent a lot of time speaking to various governments in the region, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, they're all very keen to attract foreign capital. So they are rolling out very favorable policies to attract foreign investors. So I think there is tremendous potential there.
So what are the investment areas that CAF is currently focused on?
One of the main subsectors that CAF II will focus on is renewable energy, which includes solar projects, wind projects, hydro, waste to energy. So these sectors, if we invest in them, definitely contribute towards lowering emissions, reducing pollution, and contribute concretely towards the region's energy transition targets. In terms of cross-border angles, the obvious ones are airports and ports. Because airports obviously have a lot of international traffic. If we invest in that, that will help increase travel and traffic across the ASEAN region. A lot of the tourists that come to that market come from China and other Southeast Asian countries. So investing in a project like that will improve trade and connectivity. The idea of a port is to move goods across different countries. So investing in port assets can facilitate trade flows. That's an obvious example of cross-border elements. Similarly, I think the other example is if you look at certain midstream energy assets like, say, petrochemical storage. If you invest in a petrochemical storage asset, say an import terminal, that will bring in, oil or petrochemicals from other markets, and then store at your asset, store within your asset, and then you'll supply your internal domestic market. So it is facilitating the energy flows.
In order to accelerate the construction of the Western Financial Center, what aspects should Chongqing focus on?
We are quite familiar with, as a group, with the Chongqing Chengdu Economic Circle and the Western Financial Center development. So in my view, looking at it from an infrastructure perspective, which is my, I guess, area of expertise, we think the region could be an attractive investment target from a logistics development perspective. There could be potential for wind and hydro as well, given you have, I guess, mountains and rivers. So I think that could be of potential interest. You have very good examples in China already, in Shanghai, Shenzhen, Beijing area. There are already a lot of precedents. And what you need is obviously good infrastructure, strong talent. So if you have good infrastructure and, good quality of life, you attract talented people from all over the world, including obviously the coastal cities who can, work there. So you have a robust, infrastructure framework, not just physical infrastructure, but the softer things, the legal regulatory framework.